like the grass is green, and everything I do is unseen. But I know that's just in my mind. I know everything is just in my mind. Do you really want to be famous? Do you really want to be a superstar? Do you really want to get dangerous? Do you even know where the groupies are? Bitches out here be-
Welcome to Hammer's house.
So we get off of here literally 2 minutes ago, and the news is finally here at time is it now? Almost 11:30. New York Mets and all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor have agreed to a 10-year, $341 million deal, sources say. This is per Jeff Passan of ESPN. There's no other further details as of right now, but this just broke literally 4 minutes ago. So just as I'm about to break everything down, my boy Taco, who is, look at him, decked out in his Yankee shit, decided to tell me this just as I'm about to shut everything down. So they'll come on real quickly. Thank God that this happened. I thought I was being
the best
pumped.
part was your initial reaction, because it was such utter disbelief. Because we were just going back, who's going to get hated on more? Who's going to get worse? And then you're like, it happened.
We literally had, oh my God, it couldn't have happened at least at the time that it did. And I was like, wow, like this literally happened. So Francisco Lindor with the $341 million and dividing that up on it, $34.1 million. That's the annual. And here's what's funny is that in the talk from that was reported by John Heyman, they were $1 million off. That was the only thing that came off this deal, was only just that $1 million short that they needed to complete this deal. And the Mets have absolutely got their superstar. They have absolutely got their guy. And finally, Cohen makes it happen. I think at the end of the night, everybody knew what was going to happen and why it needed to happen. And now they finally gave him the money.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him the money he wanted and deserved.
Yes. I can't scream, but holy shit.
I think Lindor showed a masterclass to all these impending free agents about your leverage as a player.
And here's what's more.
Take notes.
Here's some more details into this as well, and what we're finding out from John Heyman, that the Lindor 10-year deal for about $340 begins in 2022. So he has $362.3 coming to him for 11 years. So they're adding the money up, and they're giving him every single penny of that paycheck.
And they're lucky, because if it would have gone to the regular season without this being done, it would have been a PR nightmare. It would have been a blame game. It would have taken away from the product on the field, and for the chance for them to try to win this division and be a competitive team. You don't need those kind of distractions with, like we saw it with the Boston Celtics with Kyrie Irving, and the Warriors with KD. You don't want that hanging on your locker room, especially when you're trying to make a postseason push. And now the Mets have no excuses. You have everything you need in-house. You have the number one possibly pitcher in all of baseball. You have a superstar hitter. You got Pete. Go win it. Go at least be competitive. Be a Final Four team.
Mind you, this is also the team that, they've come across a lot of really good players. Mike Piazza, Carlos Delgado, Jose Reyes, David Wright. They had so many superstars. And right now, as we're looking at it, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Michael Conforto, JD Davis, these guys, and Jeff McNeil. This is the time where the Mets really are making this happen. And with a rotation that's unbelievable. That's the part that the Mets really needed to fill that void. And they needed to make that happen. And now you're getting 10 years of Francisco Lindor, and he ain't going nowhere. This is one that you look at like the Dodgers with Mookie Betts. The second he gets acquired, sign him to a 13-year deal. The Phillies, they go get Bryce Harper for 13 years. Then you have the Padres with Manny Machado. This is the part where now the Mets are back on the map. And the Mets now have to be competitive in their division against the Braves and the Phillies in the Nationals and against a lot of these National League teams.
No it has some deferrals, no opt-outs, and no trade clause. Wow.
Lindor totally won this deal, though. He has no
Lindor
trade clause.
won this one.
He has no opt-outs. He's gonna be paid until he's 38 years old, and he's making what, $34 million a year?
Yep.
Good. I'm happy for him.
34.1 million a year.
That's a win. And for the Mets, like you said, they get everything they need. They get their shortstop. They get the face of the franchise. They get the leader in the clubhouse.
Shit, I just bought a pair of Oakleys the other day.
Yeah.
In the Oakley store because there was a picture of Lindor wearing them. So.
And that's what he brings to the game outside of just being a great player and a good franchise clubhouse guy. He sells tickets. He sells merchandise. He sells ads. He is a great electric personality that you can put in front of the camera, and you're going to be able to get people engaged. So I think from that perspective as well, it's the same thing with Bauer. Bauer has his own brand that he builds up, and he's built in that Dodgers lifestyle where I think, yeah, Bauer signed for an incredible number 2, but he's going to make it back in because he's such a good marketing person. And I think that's the same thing with Lindor. You can afford to give him that extra money because guess what? He's a great face. He sells those tickets, and hell, you bought Oakley's just because you saw him wearing them.
And mind you, and think about this though too, Taco, because when I mean, again, I have family that live in New York. New York needs juice. Good God, I can't even begin to tell you how many times that I've been in New York and seen how bitter sometimes went from streetway to streetway. I'm like, where was that fun, entertaining side of where you loved walking down Times Square? You loved going to like all those fancy Italian restaurants. You loved going and you just enjoyed New York.
The end of the 90s.
Where the hell is that at? That's the part where
New York City smells like strippers and pregnancy.
What's funny about it is because you're not getting this with the Knicks. You're not getting this with.
Well, I will say this: the Knicks are the highest franchise or the highest rated net worth franchise in all of basketball, and for the first time ever, we're not a laughing stock. And if you look at the ratings here, we're competing with the Nets for ratings, with us just being, I would say, a fringe playoff team. We're maybe a 7 through 10 team. I think that we're going to start dropping. We lost tonight's game, but I agree with you. The Knicks have been pathetic for the better part of 20 years.
And then look at it also here in hockey with the Rangers and the Islanders. The Islanders after the John Tavares trade, they then are competitive. They're the defensive team. They were making some serious noise in the NHL.
And I'll tell you this: Long Island loves these Islanders.
They
are supportive of behind them, and that's the whole reason why they moved from Barclays, and now they're getting their own thing in Belmont because the support out here was great. I mean,
still repping the old Nassau Coliseum, that was the originals right there from the 80s.
Yeah,
and then you look at in the NFL, the Giants made huge amounts of moves. The Jets right now are in a position where they've really got to nail this draft and at the same time nail the players. The baseball world with the Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees, you already know, they pay for superstars. The Mets right now are in this comfy position where now they ain't got to stress no more. They've got their superstar. They've got their face of the franchise. And the way you look at it from this lineup, it clicks.
And you clicks
with everyone.
You cannot now let Conforto go either. Now your next thing goes to Conforto. Unlike Lindor, he didn't put out the stipulation of having to be signed, but you have to end up with Conforto as well.
Because of who his agent is as well, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. Yeah, it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. But you have to get him. You can't let him go.
You have to. You cannot be let off the leash. It's Conforto down the stretch. It's going to be Pete Alonso because here's the thing. You've got an excellent rotation.
Yep.
The bullpen needs a little bit of work. The lineup right now is going to start to click at some point because that's what the Mets needed most was offensive help. And now they ended up getting it. And Lindor is really going to give them all the offensive power and capability. That's where it's really going to it's what's going to up the value for the Mets.
And last year, I don't even think they were that bad offensively, but I think the biggest thing for them was after DeGrom, they really didn't have anyone that they could hang their hat on because no one was out for the whole year. Stroman opted out, and then you're looking at Peterson.
But that year though, that DeGrom had the lowest ERA, he had no offensive help.
Yes.
He had absolutely none.
But I think now with this team, I think one of the big players that a lot of people don't realize how good he is Jeff McNeil.
I've been saying
really
it.
good.
I've been saying it from the time he got
I had
fell
loved
in
watching
love with that kid.
It just makes the Cano deal look so bad because his ideal position is second base.
Thank you. I've been saying that shit.
When you look at him, Brody totally messed him up there because you would have Kalinick still. You could have signed 2 free agents that would have played the closer and setup role. They could have had Ottavino and Britton, kept all their relievers, and not be put in the situation because Edwin Diaz, he's still looked at by Met fans with very much of a side eye because they gave up a lot for him and he's not come to deliver. Right. And if they're going to go anywhere, Edwin Diaz has a pitch like that, Trevor Hoffman relief pitcher award winner that he could possibly be.
And what's funny about this is that because the Mets are in a position where they got young guys that they're developing. I mean, I watched Brandon Nimmo, I watched JD Davis, and I've even watched Conforto bits and pieces. Dom Smith,
Alonso.
And even Noah Syndergaard at the time, like they were really starting to develop themselves to where they're going to be a competitive team. I mean, good God, even when they had Josh Satin.
I mean, they developed a second baseman. I forgot his name. Daniel Murphy.
Daniel Murphy.
You're being sarcastic. I'm trying to remember his name.
I'm saying, like, letting him go was the start of the spiral of that team because that team had just gone to the World Series.
You blame the Wilpons.
That's all just
fucking assholes didn't have the money. They didn't want to spend the money. They were fucking broke. And that's what killed this team.
They spent
you know what?
Your Knicks, McNeil, and that's what's his face, the second baseman Murphy, and that's what stopped it because he went to the Nationals, your biggest rival.
Like, look, your Knicks are doing great. Don't get me wrong.
So now
your Knicks are doing great, but your owner's still a fucking piece of shit.
So now we could all just sing this little song. Doodah, doodah, Lucas Doodah.
Hold on.
Oh my God!
Hold on. I have to do this. Right
you
now.
tried, yeah.
No,
I mean, listen. Honestly, this is the year that the Knicks totally outperformed what I thought. We have the lowest payroll in basketball.
Hold on.
The Mets.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies. Bring your.
We got fucking Lindor, baby. Let's fucking go, Mets.
I went to one Met game at Citi Field, and I have a Noah Syndergaard jersey from that one game. I might go the day they have a Lindor giveaway.
I went to go to City. We actually went the night. We went the night that the Mets played the Dodgers after the whole Utley thing, like the following season.
Oh,
when Syndergaard got
Ruben
thrown out.
Tejada. Yep.
When Syndergaard got thrown, him and Terry Collins got thrown out. That was the most priceless moment I've ever had at Citi Field.
You know what's funny is who I talked to that time when that crucial play happened. I was at work and I was working at a dealership. I was literally having this conversation with somebody and they were just like, yeah, I literally was talking to Chase and Chase was just like, dude, whatever you do, send the note into Fox Sports. Like, this shit is not true. This shit, like, I'm getting death threats right now with me and my wife and all this other shit and all that. I was literally talking to Aaron Rowan when that shit happened. And I was like, dude, no freaking way. Because he has a hitting clinic here in Vegas and he gets his Escalade detailed here all the time. So, like, yeah, I was like, wow, that was a crucial moment right there. But,
all right.
And what's funny? My mother, years ago when they won in '86, she was a Met fan.
We're winning a World Series
until she became a Yankee fan.
It's almost past. It's almost midnight, so we're getting closer and closer to opening day. The Mets are winning the World Series this year.
I like how you can't say that with your chest, though.
Yo, that's it. That's it for the night. Taco, thank you for the breaking news while we're freaking off air.
No
and
problem, bro.
I
That's
had to
what
come
do.
back. I had to come back on. So
I love the shocked look on your face. You're such a dick. Why are you gonna fuck with me? Oh, you're real? Oh, no way.
I'm glad we didn't
He's
have a
like-
camera on me when that
like,
happened.
Way to drop your balls, go.
Yo,
See, you never know with me. I could
Lady-
be real like that.
ladies and gentlemen, it has been real. This has been an amazing night, especially pun intended, amazing. Let's go Mets. The season starts tomorrow. Let's get it. Everybody have a great night. Be safe. We are out.
Let's go A's.
Yep. Wash your hands and your asses.
There we go.
Hey.
Later.